Okay, this video is going to be about how to solve equations with fractions, everybody's favorite type of problems. So let's just jump right in. First problem we're going to look at is 2x plus 3 plus x over 2 is equal to 7. So we're going to go ahead and talk about how to solve this equation. First thing that you need to do in order to solve these equations is you need to find the least common multiple, okay, of the denominators. So if we look at all our denominators, we have 3, we have 2, and technically under the 7, you could write that it's over 1, although 1 can be a multiple of any number. So, or as we multiply it out, right, 1 can go into any number. So let's do multiples of 3, and 3, 6, 9, 12, and it continues on. For 2, we got 2, 4, 6, and it carries on. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the lowest of the numbers that they share. And in this case, it would be 6. So between the denominator of 3 and the denominator of 2, the lowest common multiple that they share is 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the entire equation and we're going to multiply every single term in the equation by 6. And to make it easier, in my opinion, for the multiplication that's about to come, I'm going to put it over 1 so I can write it as a fraction. The reason I write it as a fraction is because when you're multiplying fractions, it's really easy to remember, hopefully, that it's top times top and then bottom times bottom. And since you have fractions, it may just make it easier to do the multiplication. So we're going to do 6 over 1 times the first term, which is 2x over 3. And so when you multiply that, you get on top 2x times 6 is 12x. Over on the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. Plus, now we're going to do x over 2 times 6 over 1. So x times 6 is 6x. Over 2 times 1 on the bottom is 2. And then do not forget the number that's by itself over there. That's 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Now, I know we've multiplied and it's still a fraction. However, if you haven't noticed it yet, when we go to simplify each fraction, we can turn it into a whole number. So 12x divided by 3 is 4x, plus 6x divided by 2 is 3x, and that equals, still on the other side, 42. And now what we've done by multiplying by the least common multiple of the denominators is we've gotten rid of the fractions in the equation, and now it looks a lot nicer to go ahead and solve. So we'll just finish this. We got 3x plus 4x is 7x equals 42. Divide by 7, and so you get an x solution, x equals 6. So that is a nice way that you can do. There's other ways to solve these types of equations with fractions, but this is the most straightforward way. Let's look at one more problem that's a bit more complicated. 2x minus 5 over 4 minus x over 3 is equal to 2 minus x plus 4 over 6. So the problem is a bit more complicated, but the steps don't change. So we still want to find the least common multiple of all our denominators. So as we look at the denominators, we have denominator of 4, 3, and 6, not including the denominator of 1 that could be written under the 2. So what is the first number, the first multiple that 4, 3, and 6 share? It's going to be 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the whole equation and multiply it by 12. And again, because I want to keep it as a fraction times a fraction, it just makes it a little bit easier to visually see. I'm going to write 12 as 12 over 1. And now what we're going to do is, again, just like we did in the last problem, we're going to take this 12 and we're going to multiply it to every single term. So make sure each term is getting multiplied. So on the top, we get 12 times the first term, so 2x minus 5 times 12. I'm just going to write as 12 times 2x minus 5. Over on the bottom, 4 times 1 is 4, minus 12 times x is 12x over, on the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3, is equal to 12 times 2 is 24, minus, on top we get 12 times x plus 4, over 6 times 1 is 6. And so now, again, we still have fractions, but we can do a little simplification. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, so this simplifies to 3 times 2x minus 5, minus 12x divided by 3 is 4x equals 24, minus, and then 12 divided by 6 is 2, so this is going to be minus 2 times x plus 4. And now we've got a nice equation, nice in the sense that there's no fractions, and we can go ahead and solve this. So distribute the 3, 6x minus 15 minus 4x equals 24. Distribute the negative 2, negative 2x minus 8. Simplify on the same side, so I have 6x minus 4x is going to be 2x minus 15 is equal to 20, well, actually what we could do is simplify the left side, and we get 24 minus 8, that's going to be 16 minus 2x, and then we're just going to solve, so we'll move the negative 2x over, and we get 4x minus 15 is equal to 16. I'm going to add the 15, and we get 4x is equal to 31. Divide by 4, divide by 4, and so what we're left with is x is equal to 31 over 4, and I'm just going to leave it as an improper fraction. So that is how you solve equations with fractions in it. Hopefully this was a good section. Remember, the key is you want the least common multiple of the denominators, and then make sure to multiply it to each of the terms.